Time for my favorite show.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jillian Turner, along with Kennedy, Jessica Tarlov, Charlie Hurt, and Greg Gutfeld. It is 5 o'clock here in New York City. This is The Five. Scene of violence there erupting at two marijuana farms out west in California. 200 illegal immigrants were arrested. More than 500 protesters showed up on scene there to try and antagonize that operation. One man was seen pulling a gun, appearing to fire on federal agents who were conducting lawful raids at those sites just outside L.A. The feds had arrived on the scene with a warrant for illegal employees. Other agitators can be seen here blocking roads, attacking agents with rocks. The CBP commissioner claims the pot farm in question is now under investigation for child labor violations. They've released this image of 10 migrant juveniles, 8 of them unaccompanied. President Trump's border czar says the protesters have now crossed a clear line. Listen.
What happened in California is just another example of protesters becoming criminals. And they've been emboldened by even members of Congress who compare ICE to Nazis and racists and terrorists. I mean, the rhetoric is so high. And I said 2 months ago, it's going to end up with a loss of life. And we had one the other day in Texas. And it's not over. I mean, the rhetoric has to end. ICE agents are simply enforcing the law that members of Congress enacted.
Well, California's Governor Gavin Newsom sharing his outrage, saying, quote, kids running from tear gas, crying on the phone because their mother was just taken from the fields. Trump calls me new scum, but he's the real scum. The attacks on ICE agents caps off a dangerous week for immigration officials who have faced 2 separate ambushes on their facilities and a whole lot of heated rhetoric.
I don't care. Throw me in jail. Do what you have to do. I'm going to continue to stand up what's right.
Kennedy,
hey.
I saved the best for last for you. Take a listen
Williams,
to LA's mayor talking about illegal immigration, her new plans for her city.
We also are going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID that will actually provide cash assistance to people. Because, you know, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash.
So to be clear, she's talking there about folks who are in LA illegally.
Yes.
So because the government is no longer providing funding, she's now going to raise it elsewhere to make sure that people continue to receive it.
This, unfortunately, is the natural conclusion of a sanctuary state and a sanctuary city. This is what they've invited. They want people to come into the state. They want people to come into the city because they work for cheap. Los Angeles and California both have massive budget deficits. And this has been the entire idea. I mean, this is what the economy rests upon. It's on the backs of people who are working for far less than minimum wage. And Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass aren't crying about that. You know, they want them to be voters, but they have no problem that their, entire industries are taking advantage of kids who are here. It's like, one could argue that being trafficked for work is almost as devastating as the sexual abuse that a lot of these kids also come across when they're not here with an adult. They get lost within the system. And, Gavin Newsom isn't crying about that. He ekes out these little crocodile tears whenever it gives him political cover for the failures, which are colossal and legion in his state. And so he will use this as a way of creating a political shield to make it seem like he's doing something, like he's crying for a moment about people who he has invited here and turned his back on and allowed pretty much every industry to take advantage of.
Wow.
Other than that, I think he's amazing, and I'm voting for him again.